For all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too, right?
Nope, don't do it, Black people. Stay the hell home. Stay safe, stay home, stay out of it. This is not our business. We didn't get us here and we're not gonna get us out of it. These white folk got to do the work. And until they do, they are going to destroy this country. That's how much white supremacy matters to these folks. That's how much the delusion, white delusion, not white supremacy, white delusion. That's how much this matters to these folks, that they are willing to throw away their whole goddamn country. They would rather be kings of rubble than to live good and everybody eats. Everybody gets treated well. Everybody gets treated right. So stay home. Don't go out there. No matter how bad it gets, stay the hell home. This is white folk business. Let them deal with it. This is brother against brother, father against child. This is in-house for them.
And the reason there isn't a big revolution happening yet is because y'all are waiting for Black people to do it and we're sitting in the house. It is very, very unfortunate what happened in Minneapolis yesterday with that woman losing her life to ICE agents. And the fact that it happened 6 blocks away from where George Floyd was killed is crazy. That's why the revolution has not happened, because y'all are waiting for Black people to do it. We're not about to do this job for y'all. Y'all's job was to stand with us November 4th, 2024. Rigged or not rigged, the man would have been able to lose had y'all just shown up the way y'all was supposed to November 4th. But the reason why y'all are saying, oh, where's the revolution? Why are we not overthrowing the government? Is because y'all are waiting for Black people to do it, and that's not going to happen.
Let me be clear. ICE and immigration has nothing to do with Black Americans. This is absolutely an unfortunate situation that our country allowed people to live here for so long undocumented. But that does not mean Black Americans are obligated to protest, march, or put our lives on the line. We already walk around as targets every single day. The system never stopped for us, never did. Following the law isn't hatred. Protecting our lives is not selfish. And Black Americans don't owe anyone our safety.
A lot of people think that African Americans are asleep at the wheel when it comes to ICE. And it's like, no, it's just that we've always been fighting against this. So it's like, it's not brand spanking new news for us. It's like the police have been killing us since like the end of Reconstruction, you know? Like the police have been targeting us, attacking us through Jim Crow, civil rights movement, into the current movement that we're in right now. It's always just been a constant thing. And I think it's like white people are just starting to realize that this stuff like kind of affects them, like the overreaching of the government and the overreaching of the police and things of that nature. It's starting to affect them. So now they're all just like, oh my God. But it's just like, okay, it's Tuesday. Like for a Black person, I'm like, yeah, the police and the government are always overreaching. The police and the government are always doing things that are wrong for the people. So it's not brand news to us.
You know why you're not seeing a lot of Black people out there protesting against ICE? You know why you're seeing predominantly white people only at these events? It's because back in 2020, the Democrats utilized the Black demographic to go out and riot and act a fool. And they said, oh, if you just elect us, we'll give you reparations and we'll force the police to wear body cameras and all these wonderful, amazing things, right? So Black people showed up like we are known to do, and we voted up and down for one side of the aisle. And what did we get for it? Nothing, as usual, because many of us never learn. But now, here in 2026, we're seeing individuals who were slavishly devoted to the Democrat Party. Now they're seeing the Democrats over their entire 4 years in office under Joe Biden. They went out of their way to ingratiate themselves to illegal immigrants. And they sometimes prioritized illegal immigrants, even in Black communities, ahead of Black American citizens. And Black people are sitting there saying, wait, you said you were going to give us reparations, you're going to give us X, Y, and Z. And we got nothing for it. So the silver lining is a lot of people are waking up and realizing the Democrats are only courting their next prospective voting bloc. They want to exploit illegal immigrants for an entire generation, much like they've exploited the Black community for the previous several generations. And they're daring you to call them out on that and see it for what it is. So if you're wondering why you only see predominantly white liberals out here acting a fool, rioting and protesting against ICE, it's because ICE is threatening their ability to cater to that next demographic that they desperately want to lock in for an entire generation. And that's just the God's honest truth. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully you agree. And if you do, let me know in the comment section down below.
Hello, welcome all to my YouTube channel. My name is Kola, and of late I've been watching what's happening in Minnesota, which the ICE raids and the Somali protests have been happening. And honestly, the reactions online says a lot, mostly from the Black Americans, because a lot of Black Americans are straight up saying, this is not our war. This isn't our war to fight. And before people get mad, listen up. Black Americans have been in the streets for years for protesting George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. You see police brutality all over, and people have really forgotten all about that. And Black Americans say, we have protested, we have cried, we have got tear gassed in the streets, and we even got called thugs, and half the country just told us to just comply. And we are so tired of always being the ones to carry that burden of always coming out for everyone. And before we react right ahead, let's first watch how people are reacting to this, and then we're going to come back with a full commentary at the end of the video, so stay tuned. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll gladly appreciate if you guys click that subscribe button, and let's get into it.
When I see people making comments and videos saying, oh, Black people, referring to Black Americans, don't get comfortable because you all are next, they're coming for you next, it's like, there's nothing the government can do to Black Americans that they have not already done, that we are not already, privy to. I mean, for one, slavery, but we are already an oppressed class. We've already had to deal with, systemic racism, right? Black people get harsher prison sentences, we're paid less, police brutality. Even when, segregation was a thing and Black people were thriving, they burned our towns down, they flooded them, they literally poisoned Black people, they used us as freaking test dummies. There's nothing that they can do to us that hasn't already been done. There's a lot of people of color who, they know that they are inferior to white people, but as long as they're superior to Black Americans, they didn't care. It's like, they don't really like us, but at least they don't treat us like the Black Americans. They don't treat us like that, so I'm cool. They separate themselves from being Black, right? We're people of color, but we're not Black. We're not American. We're not descendants of slaves. Like, they just tried to separate themselves from us and, make themselves feel better than us. And now that, all the focus is on them and getting them out and, they're being severely mistreated. I can agree to that. Now they're upset. Y'all are more mad at the fact that Black Americans aren't under attack than you are that your people are under attack. You're more focused on our reaction. Don't get comfortable because you're next. You're next. And it's like, why is that your thought process? Why is it always us that it comes back to? Because you can acknowledge that in this country, Black people, Black Americans specifically, are treated terribly. We're oppressed. We are seen as trash, garbage. And you thought as long as they don't think that I'm one of them, I'm cool. And now they're looking at you like you're worse than us, trying to send y'all back to, y'all countries, saying horrible things about your country. Now you're mad at us. You're mad at us instead of the people who are doing it to you.
Renee being murdered in Minneapolis is absolutely disgusting. But I am also untethered and extremely angry by the discourse that I see online. I see people from abroad saying that we're not angry enough and we don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, Black people, Indigenous people, have been telling you guys this for decades, for centuries. This country was founded on genocide and slavery. We've been telling y'all this for centuries. We've been saying they're killing us, they're murdering us, they're policing us. We live in a police state. They're policing the neighborhoods. We've been saying it. We've been saying it over and over and over and over again. And now people are like, yeah, we're not angry enough. We need to get in the streets. Get in the streets and do what? Because you guys don't get it, right? Civil rights leaders were marching to do something, to be civilly disobedient. They were marching to a sit-in, which was illegal. It was illegal during segregation for you to go sit at a counter in a whites-only diner. They were marching to go and register to vote or to vote. That was illegal. It was illegal. And then things would get violent, because they would let the dogs out on you. They would strange fruit you or put the hose on you. It was always violent. Y'all consume so much black culture and then tell us we don't have any. And there's a slur for us in every single language. Right? There's a slur for us in every single language. You don't listen to us. Kendrick said, you can't imitate this violence, and you can't. But now that people are worried that it might bleed on over to them, I saw somebody in Europe saying that, like, you know, we need to do something because they're worried that they're worried about themselves. We've been trying. We have been trying. We begged y'all at the polls in November, but it didn't matter then. Right? It didn't matter then. Black people are lazy. We're entitled. We're this, we're that. Even from people around the world that look just like us. Y'all don't listen to us. And that's why this is happening. We have been telling y'all that this is a police state and that they're killing us. Right?
They all want us in harm's way so bad. It's something sinister about it. I've been saying this. You know what it is? It's this like trauma corn. They like to watch us be brutalized, attacked, beat up, unalived. Like, they like to watch it. Like, they have this weird fixation on seeing black people literally get terrorized. Like, nobody could ever convince me of anything different, because why do y'all want us to go out there so badly? It's not like y'all are like trying to get us to go, you know, to Congress or to get some type of bill or some type of legislation passed. Like, no, y'all literally want us to be out there physically fighting with ICE. It's like also a form of entertainment for them. Like, they like to see us arguing. They like to see us up in arms. And it's also ritualistic in a way of they want to energy harvest off of us. You know, like, it reminds me of like the movie It with the clown. And it could only attack you if you were afraid of him. You know, like, it's like it needed to bring out the fear in people in order to be able to appear, and in order to be able to strengthen himself and to be awake from his hibernation for an extended period of time. He had to harvest off of the fear of the children. And I feel like in this scenario, in this reality, in this simulation, it's our fear, it's our trauma that feeds the beast. It feeds the demonic forces and the demonic energy. It feeds whatever else they're trying to manifest, because they need us to help create new timelines. They need us to help create alternate reality, so to speak. So if we were to get out there and cause mass civil unrest, and of course martial law would enact, and, you know, we would be seriously in a police state, like we already are, but it would be even more cause to call in the troops and round the people up, and then who knows what that will trickle into. Shit, we might end up in motherfucking internment camps out this motherfucker. Like, for real, we really have to think about this. And for whatever reason, I think as a collective spiritually, majority Black Americans are like one band, one sound. And we haven't been like this in a long time, because we haven't had a cause. And people say, oh, where's your advocacy? And I think Kanataway said this, and he made a great point. Shouts out to Kanataway. Make sure y'all follow him. And he said, our advocacy is also in silence, and our advocacy is also in boycotting. Our advocacy also comes in a form of sitting things out. Like the bus boycott, for example. We just didn't ride the buses. People walked, people carpooled, people rode bicycles, or people just simply didn't go places that they didn't have to necessarily be. So our resistance and our, you know, standing up for ourselves also is deeply rooted in us sometimes not doing anything. So y'all keep saying, you ain't doing nothing. Us not doing anything is a form of resistance. It's also a form, I kept saying advocacy. I meant activism. That's the word that I was trying to fish for. Sometimes I misspeak when I be talking, y'all. I'm not reading from a prompter. I'm talking off the dome like we having a conversation. Because, you know, like y'all be like, this is blah, blah, blah. This means that I thank you for correcting me, but I just need y'all to know, like, bitch, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I'm literally just talking. I don't write this down. Like, so sometimes I misspeak. I'm human, okay? Don't go not too much, because y'all be going in on me sometimes. And I be like, all right, damn. I'm not about to fucking take the video down. Like, y'all know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, they want something to happen. That's why they keep saying you're next, is because they're trying to manifest and create that reality for us. But we're not going, bitch. We ain't going. The ancestors told us not to go. And I think this is the first time in a long time that as a collective, because of course some of us are still, you know, using our voices and still out there, but it's very few. As a collective, this is the first time in a long time that we have not put on a heavy cape for other people. Like, we finally woke up. Like, a lot of, and it's broken record time. I don't give a damn. Y'all gonna have to keep hearing the same things. A lot of these people don't like us. They don't like us. It's fucked up, but we're starting to be able to see. Not all, because some do love us and will stand in solidarity, and it's true and it's genuine, but a lot of people don't fuck with us, bro. And we're finally starting to see. Anyways, this is long. It's relevant to Brooklyn Lane.
Do you remember this young lady? Her name is Sarah Bergstrom. She is from West Virginia. She was from the West Virginia National Guard. And on November 25th, she served in Washington, D.C., right not far from the White House. And another protester that people said was peaceful walked up to her and shot her point blank range for no reason. This 20-year-old woman worked one weekend out of the month just to make ends meet. The average National Guardsman that works as a reservist like she did, they make under $4,000 a year. But just because she was there and another peaceful protester walked up to her, and this is what he did to her. But you know what? I did not see any protests for her. There were no protests. There was no one burning down buildings, no one shouting at law enforcement or anything, because a victim that time was someone that works for one of our U.S. federal agencies. And we understand that we have people, an entire party that does not like our federal law enforcement or any of our military. Therefore, they feel that they have a right to attack her. You also did not see the NBA or WNBA defending her. No one said that this person that was also a peaceful protester, that something should happen to him. Now, I say anytime you go to a peaceful protest and you are armed, you have nefarious intent. Why would you go to anything with law enforcement and you know they're there? Why would you approach them and you are armed if you do not have the intentions of doing things? Because of Sarah Bergstrom, that meant that all of our military, all of our agents that work for the federal government are probably on edge right now because they know that they have Democrats telling people to attack them. Just regular people. This young lady, 20 years old. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Look at this young lady. Her name is Zakara Thompson. She was just 19 years old and she went to get gas one night and her body was found several days later. She had been raped and thrown off a bridge. I did not see any protests. We did not see one NBA coach or one NBA or WNBA player that had videos about her. Everybody thought that her life was not important. Why? Because she did not fit their negative narrative that they carry all the time. So I'm saying to Americans, these people that are out here causing anarchy, these people that are defending people who are causing anarchy, we must be concerned about them, because no one is making videos about all of the up to 800,000 children that are missing in the United States, the most in any other country in the world. They are not defending these children. They don't have videos. You know, the NBA could have great documentaries on what we can do to help save children, but they don't. The WNBA also did not say one thing to support women, young 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds when men were playing in their sports. But they can all say that a person that went armed to confront federal agents, they can defend him. And all I can say is ICE is trying to rescue children from our border. If you are against that, then you have a major problem and you need to look inside yourself. But I just wanted everyone to remember all of these people that no one said anything about. There have not been any riots, any protests, any insurrections for these people because they're just regular Americans, and no one, all of these people did not care about their lives. Anyway, repost this, send it to everyone that you know.
For all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too, right? And they're just saying, oh, we thought they were African. We thought they were illegal immigrants. And then they will detain you for days, sometimes weeks, so that they can have their way with you in the ICE detention center while they...
Wrong message, even worse messenger. We do not ever need a white person in this country to tell us what is at stake when it comes to the government, police enforcement, and how police enforcement can cause harm to Black Americans. My father sat me down when I was 15 years old because I started to look like a man and taught me how to interact with police. Every Black family teaches their Black sons how to interact with the police. Every Black family talks to their daughters about how to interact with the police. So for every conversation we have a Sandra Bland, Philando Castile, Eric Gardner, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Sonia Massey, Rodney King. I can go back decades, I can go back centuries to tell you how Black people are acutely aware of our relationship with law enforcement and the government. My grandmother was the first person in her family to buy a house in New York, and she moved into a white neighborhood. And you know what they did? They threw things at her house. They burned her garbage. They tried to push her out, all because she was Black and they didn't want her around. And every time the cops came, what did the cops do? Agitate my grandmother and grandfather, not the other way around. So no, sir. You do not need to tell Black people that we need to be going out on the street and fighting ICE, because Black people have never not fought to survive and live in this country, which is our right. Conditions in this country have been perpetuated and propagated by white people. White people are the only people that can fix it. This is your time to shine. This is your time to stand up. Black people have been fighting since slavery. The fact that you see us occupying spaces, owning homes, being doctors, being lawyers, graduating school is all because of a fight that has never ended. The fight has never ended for Black people. So the fact that you think you as a white man can come on Beyonce's internet and tell Black people what they need to be fighting for, it's so lost on you how you don't understand American history and how you don't understand intrinsically American culture. Because in order for us to exist in the capacity we exist in 2026, that is from a centuries-long fight. You guys go out and do the work. You go out and fight your representatives. You go out and make noise at Capitol Hill. You go out and demand change. But don't ever come online and tell Black people what they need to be fighting for.
The reason why y'all want Black Americans to be affected by ICE so bad is because y'all are still convinced that we are immigrants, and we are not. We are not. We've been here for over 400 years, and for most of us, our ancestors have been here even before the slave trade. Most of us have American indigenous lineage that we can actually trace, because a lot of our families were reclassified from Indian to Negro. And there's proof that we were reclassified. We are not immigrants. They can't send us back nowhere. Where they going to send me back? North Carolina? South Carolina? Georgia? Florida? That's the only place that we can go. We're not immigrants. This is not our battle. Furthermore, most of the people who are now being deported, or most of the people that are immigrants here, have always had a stigma against Black Americans. We're lazy, we're dirty, we're ghetto, we're loud, we're uneducated, we're this and we're that. But now that ICE is outside, we're supposed to be on the front lines of the same people who come here with these mentalities about us and don't even know us. I don't understand that. This is not our battle. This has nothing to do with us. And all the Black Americans who want to go outside and put themselves on the front line and risk their lives, that's on them. But don't expect for the majority of us to be out there risking our lives for something that don't got nothing to do with us. Now, when it comes to immigration, me, myself, I don't mind immigration as long as it's legal. I worked in the immigration office for a period of time back in 2016. And when I say there are hundreds of thousands of files of people trying to get into this country, and I'm talking about people who have been trying for 15 plus years to get into this country the legal way. And they still haven't been able to get in yet because of whatever is going on. And yet we're trying to be pressured to fight on the front line for people who jumped in front of all of those people, okay, and cross borders illegally. Right now, if I take my ass to the Mexican border and think that I'm just going to cross into Mexico, there's going to be consequences and repercussions for my ass if I get caught. If I try to take myself to the Canadian border right now, there's going to be consequences and repercussions if I do that illegally. So why is America expected to be the country where people can just come in and out as they please, undocumented? We don't know who you are. We don't know what's going on. We don't know where you came from. We don't know if you're running from something. We don't know if you're a prisoner somewhere else and now you over here trying to sneak and hide. We don't know what the fuck is going on. Furthermore, let's look into how many Black women have been unalived by illegal immigrants. One of my good friends is the sister of Dakara Thompson. Dakara Thompson was a 19-year-old beautiful woman, young woman, who was unalived by an illegal immigrant. He raped her, he SA'd her, he unalived her, and then threw her off a bridge. Okay, this was back in the late August, early September of 2025. So this is rather recent. Okay, and her family is now in court dealing with that. The gag to that story is that same illegal immigrant that unalived that beautiful young lady had been caught on a DUI a couple of months to a year before that, if I'm not mistaken, and nobody checked to see if he was actually supposed to be here or not. So he could have gotten deported and that baby girl would still be here. So no, this is not my fight. This is not our fight. We are not expected to be on the front lines for everybody, while everybody continuously disrespects us and undermines the things that we have going on. We have all of these people who are of Caribbean heritage and so on and so forth in politics that speak against reparations because they say it's not fair or it's going to put us in debt and all of this other shit. But then we're also supposed to go fight for you? Are y'all crazy? No. This don't got shit to do with me. My people have been here. I myself have my tribal ID because I did the work for my genealogy and traced it back and was able to prove that I'm Indigenous American. And a lot of us have. So no.
White privilege is only afforded to those who uphold white supremacy. And white people are learning that lesson now in a way that they have never had to before. A white woman was shot and killed in Minnesota because she aligned herself with people of color. This white woman was not the first person to be killed by an ICE agent. Let's be clear. The reason why it's going viral is because she's white. And the message here is very clear. They want you to know that as a white person, if you are not willing to uphold white supremacy, your white privilege will be revoked. Because that is the entire agreement in which whiteness stands upon. It is not a biological group. It is not a culture. It is a political category. It is a legal and social category created to be a buffer to prevent class consciousness. They were offered white privilege in exchange for aligning with the power structure against Black and Indigenous people. We'll get better jobs, better wages, better access to public spaces, and legal protection against brutality as long as you are a buffer class between the rich and wealthy and the exploited class. But if and only if you stand with the power structure. That is the contract. And it has always been enforced by violence. And this isn't new, right? The system only works if white people are compliant. It only works if white people align themselves with the power structure. Otherwise, there is nothing to protect the rich and wealthy against the exploited. Because guess what? We're all the exploited. This is the contract that your ancestors signed. But the problem was the privileges were always temporary. Now we're living in a world where even the white privilege has dried up. No more stable jobs, no more pensions, no more home ownership. The rich and wealthy have withdrawn the material goods. All has been hoarded by the 1%. All that is left is the psychological wage of whiteness, which is now being revoked in a public shooting. And now there's nothing left. There's nothing left. A system built on the foundation of exploitation of human capital was always going to be unstable. And now we are in the final stages of that instability. As a white person, this should be the final straw for you. No more white privilege, no more good jobs, no more home ownership. Now, no more protection from the police and government. You have no reason to continue to be the buffer class between the exploited and the rich. If this is not a wake-up call, I don't know what will be. You have been psychologically manipulated for half a millennia. Now they are finally showing you that they don't care about you either. So what are you going to do? How will you proceed? You have no more reasons to act indifferent to the changes happening in America. Because now white privilege is nothing but a cute fancy title. A credit card with no funds, babe. The system is officially bankrupt.
And if you are a white ally, place some money in a black girl's hand. Place money in hand. If you can't do that, go away. It's the first day of Black History Month, and all I have to say about the sundown demons is ignore them. Literally ignore them. White people are the middle children of the world who have to go to drastic measures for attention. And when they don't get what they want, they lash out. Ignore them. Stop saying excuse me. Unless you're going to smack the shit out of them for the racist remarks, ignore them. Ignore the box braids. They look fucking terrible. They're going to be bald in a week anyway. Ignore them. Literally disengage. Don't engage at all. They want attention. Just don't give it to them. They're going to complain about us having an entire month to ourselves when they get 11 months out of the year, and they still will find a way to make this month about them. Ignore them. There's a sun bleach demon in the office with a $30 shake and go wig. Babes, ignore them. And for the other people of color, this month is also not about you. Y'all won't be ignored, but tread lightly. Like, that's exactly how I will be celebrating this month. Ignoring the fuck out of white people. I'm ignoring them. Like, it's really that simple. Ignore them. Ignore them.
I know that Minnesota has been going through ICE raids, and the ICE officers have been all of a sudden killing white people. Now you want the Black Americans to also come out and fight for you. And this is where it all gets messed up, and where they ask themselves, where was all this unity then when we needed you guys? Now suddenly ICE raids turn deadly, white people are getting killed, and everybody's like, Black community, you guys, where are you? We really need you. Where aren't you uniting with us right now when we really need you the most? And that's where the disconnect is. A lot of Black folks feel burned out. Like, we marched for everybody then, but when it was Black pain, Black deaths, Black injustice happening, support was selective, and it was loud online and quiet in real life. No one was there to support them. Let's be real, this Minnesota protest didn't come out of nowhere. They started because of Somali deportations. ICE raids that had been happening because of the sudden also deportations and the fraud cases that turned into whole communities being targeted, and everyone is now the victim, and people are scared, people are angry, and the anger is so wild, and that is why so many people are out there protesting for their right to for free speech, and it is getting really heated up because so many people have been dying. But some Black Americans are saying we are still fighting our own battles. We never even got justice for the last ones. That doesn't mean they don't care. It means solidarity doesn't come from guilt. It comes from consistency. And you can't disappear during Black struggles, then demand Black unity when the fire reaches your house. Now when it's your turn, you're calling for Black Americans to help. But you guys weren't there when they really needed you the most. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Tell me how you feel of Black Americans not uniting with the rest of the Americans to protest the sudden ICE raid deaths that have been happening in Minnesota and so many other states. And don't you guys think it's still just pressuring every community to just follow the lead when things rise? And I think everyone has a right to do whatever they want. And if someone doesn't feel like it's really necessary for them to be out there to protest, then it isn't a must, right? But let me know your thoughts in the comments, how you all feel about this, because right now people are fighting about the sudden deaths of the white people who are killed during the protest, and initially it wasn't all about that. It was all about deporting the Somalis who were in Minnesota, and it was all about getting rid of all those fraudsters who are in Minnesota. But right now it feels like it's a country thing, and everyone should join everyone to protest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, how you feel about it. And finally, credit goes to all the respective owners of the clips and content used in my video. Your thoughts and perspective made today's work possible, guys. And if you loved today's video, ensure you leave a like, comment, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe. Remember, it helps the channel grow, and I'll be so grateful, guys. So see you in the next one.